hello, everybody. I'm James Drake. If you're new here, I am an independently published author. You'll find a link to my latest book in the description, but we're not here to talk about my covers. We're going to talk about trends in the industry, traditional publishing versus independent publishing, and getting into some of the weeds about it, possibly. So I brought on some guests, and we're going to have some fun. Here in the top right, we've got Stoughton, who is also a writer.
What up, Stoughton?
Hey.
Hi.
Feel free to introduce yourself, man.
Oh, okay. First time doing anything like this.
Yeah, it's fine.
So I'm Kieran,
welcome.
aka Stoughton Mad. A bit of a amateurish writer of sorts, because I've mostly just got my serial on Substack and stuff like that. But I am working on my first proper novel and hopefully finishing it properly soon and finally getting over the procrastination and all that nonsense. But yeah, hello, I guess.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Obviously recruited from connections such as my book club, which is a Guilded server. You can find the link to that in the description. This month we are reading The Color of Magic by Sir Terry Pratchett, and we'll be doing a live stream for that. So it's a pretty great place. On the bottom left, we have Chris of Infinitale Chronicles. Hello, Chris. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. Creator of Infinitale Chronicles, former game designer, and overall, big nerd.
Big nerd.
You just call yourself a neat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
He is the
baddies.
knights who say neat.
And then in the bottom
Patty?
right, finally, we have Aaron, who is stuck in a dungeon.
Woo! That's all right. I'm only here while you need me. So I am a writer,
That's
a
kinda
creator of Immortal Rising. Immortal Rising 1 is on Fun My Comic right now. I have limited supplies right now, and I think Campaign 2 will be coming out soon, where I'm thinking about restructuring, maybe making it more affordable, possibly breaking this into two, floppies. And then issue 2 will be broken into 2 as well. So it'll be a collection of floppies, as well as this beautiful book right here with all of its gorgeous pages. Anyways, go check it out for better look at the art on Fun My Comic.
I am jealous of you guys of comics. I do want to get into it.
Same.
It's so fun and addicting. I wish don't do it. In fact, don't do it.
The problem is I actually quite enjoy the prose novels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Is what it is.
Yeah. So talking about novels and stuff, I just started I just listened to the audiobook for Homeland by R.A. Salvatore, getting into the Drizzt feel of it. I just did some Dragonlance stuff. I was like, you know what? I never got really far on Drizzt. Let me revisit him. So and I remember liking his original, like his Origins trilogy. So I started with that one, Homeland, His Birth.
I'm jealous you're reading a book you enjoy right now, because I am currently
You're doing the Terry Pratchett thing, right?
no, that's next week. I'm gonna read that
Okay.
this coming week. I like reading it right before the live stream, so I still remember it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is a previous book club entry that was chosen by the people in the book club, because this is Wuthering Heights. It is one of the most miserable pieces of trash I've ever
that one, I
tried to read.
remember that.
It's terrible.
I'm
Romeo.
I'm reading Primal Fury, which is I think an indie book by what was it Noel?
Cool.
I think
Noel
I know what you're
Traver?
talking about.
I think it is. It's got a bear on the front cover. Something like that.
Unfortunately, I've done this a couple times where I've begged indies to give me their covers so I can use them for things, which means I've seen so many hundreds of book covers now that they're starting to blur together.
I can
I
imagine.
bet. I bet they are.
All right, God, I'm starting to forget what I said in the warm up and what I said actually on screen, so I might just be repeating myself here. This has been on my mind ever since I bought Man of the High Castle. This is a relatively famous book, by a rather famous American author. And this is the cover that they're currently selling. This is the mass market paperback cover, which just looks like absolute trash.
Yeah.
Now, my understanding, what I've
Polish
heard, is that for these old books, when they commissioned the art, they actually licensed the art for only like 10 to 20 years.
Oh.
But they bought the book forever. So what actually happened was they weren't expecting those books to need to be reprinted 20 years later. So they're just like, it's just this weird PK Dick dude's book, whatever. 20 years from now, no one will remember it. Well, it turns out that they needed to keep printing it because that's how they stay in business. and
Mhm.
they didn't want to renew the license on the good artwork, so they just like went on Fiverr essentially and got to reprint it with to save $1.
Wow.
That is not necessarily true of what they're doing for the new releases, though.
Yeah, I was going
thing
to
is,
say that's a.
I
that's
own Man
already
in
a
High
classic
Castle,
book.
and I'm sure I have a different cover to that as well, but I don't know where it's at.
Yeah.
It's somewhere.
Yeah, they used to be good. They
Yeah.
used to have really good covers. The classic example is like romance novels even used to be like an entire industry of oil paintings of buff naked men. And now they're just like photo bashing a few male models, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Putting a different wig on them.
Yeah.
So, in the indie sphere, some people are doing really, really good covers. Some people, we all know for a fact that some people are doing really, really terrible covers. No comment on which one I belong to.
Just wanted to show you. I really like this. This must have come out. I don't know. It looks like by the art, maybe the 60s. So
Yeah, that's
I
an
thought it
old
was pretty
style.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that style. And then just a generic Leo Tolstoy.
Nice.
That trad art on it.
I mean, it stands
Yeah,
out.
I
That's
mean-
what matters, really. Like, it
I
catch
think-
your eye.
I think with the reissue though, yeah, I mean, why not just go cheap? Like everybody they already did a Netflix show of that, didn't they?
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
for
No,
something
that's actually
brand
why.
new,
No, it was
you need
Apple.
something to grab your
I
attention.
was blown away that Apple allowed that to be the cover of the book they're selling while they were premiering the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was a
Was-
big budget show they did. That was actually
Yeah.
quite successful.
Yeah. Was it Apple
I
or
did not watch
Amazon
it.
Prime?
I believe it was Apple. I don't know, maybe an Amazon. I didn't actually watch it because I don't watch Western.
Yeah.
I think it was Prime just because I have
My
Prime and I remember seeing ads for it, so that's probably what it was. But anyways,
Okay. So I thought that, well, how about we put this to the test? Let's do some market research in a fun way. So I went and collected the traditionally published bestsellers, the nominees, the ones with accolades, and I mixed them together with some indie books today. And that decided to be a game show. So I brought on you three, and you're going to have to try and look at the cover and figure out if this is a trad pub or an indie pub. And we're also going to have to decide if you knew it was that one because it was good or because it was bad. All ready?
I am ready.
So
right.
in classic fashion here, it's a PowerPoint.
Someone
Production
worked in
value
an
not
office.
high. If you're watching this, I need you guys to subscribe so I can get monetized and start upping this production value.
Yeah.
When in doubt.
All right. In classic fashion, the points are made up, and they don't matter. I'll be tracking the points in MS Paint, and
Oh, they
declare the
matter.
winner at the end.
Oh, they matter.
Very much so.
All right. So I've got a softball lined up in the front here, because for most of these, I basically just went on Amazon. I just searched 2023's bestsellers, which doesn't necessarily mean the book came out in 2023.
Right.
But this is what they're selling. I checked to make sure that they actually were traditionally published, not some breakout success indie. And I think you can identify this one. I go on Amazon. It's like it's just the first one you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you can tell?
God, yeah.
I don't know. I guess I can't. I may be bad at this one. So
It's literally-
I would say that's indie. I guess
I-
not.
Any other
by that
guesses?
laugh.
I'm gonna go the other way and say trad. I'm probably wrong, knowing my luck, but
I mean,
guess
it
maybe.
does say New York Times best-selling author.
Yeah,
James McBride.
I would say trad because of the modern deconstructionist art
That's
style.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, the style of it, it has that kind of look to it, and maybe I'm
yeah.
maybe
What's
I'm wrong.
that,
We'll see.
you know, the hipster look where they're like so into themselves that like everything has to look like crap so they can unironically like it or ironically like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously, who likes Pabst? Anyways.
This is trad. Published by Riverhead Books, which inspired Penguin. They do best-selling literary fiction and quality nonfiction. And
But not art.
going forward, you're going to start seeing some censorship, because one of the things I realized with trad covers is they tell you they're trad covers.
Yeah.
They just billboard it with references and accolades and credits, and New York Times best-selling author, even though that's rigged, winner of this book award you've never heard of.
Yeah, it's just the National Book Award.
Well,
okay.
that's
The Who Award.
generally what trad published covers function as, is just a kind of a platform to illustrate all the awards they've won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know who that works on.
Yeah, I know. It's like
No.
it almost has a negative effect on me. I'm like, oh.
I think
All right.
that it's just like the accepted, like this is the new accepted art, form. So like look at the different decades, right? Each decade has its different flavor of culture, at least in the West, right? And so I think that this has just kind of been put everywhere. I'm not really sure why, but just that postmodern breakdown of everything that looks nice has to look just really vague and bland.
You know what?
Like look at McDonald's. Remember when McDonald's was actually trying to be attractive
Yeah.
to people?
Yeah.
Now it's like
here's
that is ugly.
here's a weird thing. Go back to
What
the
I think would have
1930s.
worked
Oh.
would it if you put like the title behind the person, at least some of it. I think it would have stood out more, personally.
Dude, go back to the 1930s and look at Soviet art. Tell me you don't see similarities.
Ha.
I can see that.
That's
I see
funny.
where you're coming from.
Yeah.
All right. But that was the first points. Yes, there is going to be censorship. I hope you approve of the smiley face censorship when I have to cover things up.
I
To not just completely give it away.
I was like, wait a minute, what is that about?
No, the smiley face is not part of the art.
I don't know. So, okay,
Statement.
I want to take a guess on this one. First of all, I like this cover, so I'm going to
Same
say
here.
that it is indie.
Yeah.
It is a good cover. I'm going to guess. You know what? I'm going to go on a limb again and say trad. I don't know. I think sometimes they do this, but could be wrong.
It does have a black chick, so it's probably trad. You're right.
I would also have to say indie, mainly because it doesn't conform to that Soviet style art. It's not a minimal or a minimalist or whatever.
Yeah.
I could be really wrong.
It's kind of minimalist. This is a vector clipping mask.
Yeah, but the vector clipping mask is used to frame like probably an AI generated image, and if you're poor
not sure.
or if you're indie, you're probably going to want to do that.
Her neck looks really
As far as
weird.
I don't think anyone wants to admit that they're doing that.
No, unless you're Shad.
Oh, by the way, chat, feel free to chime in as well, as long as you keep it fun.
Yeah.
So, Stottenmed, you said this is Stradpub?
I think so, yeah. I could be wrong.
All right, well, you stood alone and you were wrong. This is indie.
There we go.
I don't know. It was sometimes to throw things out there. But yeah, it's a good cover. I will say that.
Picture,
I actually like the cover, and I'm not gonna
Me
lie. Part of
too.
the reason was I looked at it, I was like, "Oh, that appears to be a black woman." I think that's going to trip up at least one person. They're just gonna, diversity.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I love, like, what was it? Friday the 13th movie did that with that poster, that classic, like the silhouette of Jason and the Camp Crystal Lake and like, I love that style. It's a
For the
weird
record, there's
thing, but-
nothing behind the smiley face there. I was just censoring the other ones, going like, "Wait, I have to do some false censorship, or they're just going to know that the
Yeah.
smiley face means it's trad."
Well, you got me there.
Yeah,
I
so
just
that picture, it actually has texture, like it's
Mhm.
sure it's
Yeah.
kind of vague, it looks like some kind of
He's also used it for really
plan.
good like branding for his series.
Yep.
'Cause, like every
Hmm.
book is kind of the same,
Like a silhouette.
framing.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
And you do get it clearly shows that this is a sci-fi space story of sorts.
Mm.
right.
Maybe something I would have expected in the past from like Trad Publishing. I don't know. Like if they were feeling it one day.
Mm.
And by the way, if you are watching this and you see a book and you go, "Wow, that looks good," and you can't just type the cover into Amazon and find it, you can find a link to the Twitter post I made collecting these in the description, where you can actually directly find the authors. These were all volunteers,
Awfully nice of you.
except for the trad books that
Mm.
they get suffer. I took their stuff, their marketing material, as free use for transformative study. Yeah, that's my defense.
Yeah. Stay true to the TOS, buddy.
Here we are. This is the third one. I think this is the literal most like distilled essence of grocery store paperback I've ever seen.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely can see that. It's hard saying if that's really clever indie or just generic trad. I'm gonna say generic trad.
Same. I'm
I'm
gonna go
also gonna-
trad.
Yeah, it's again. It looks like a corporate. It looks like those corporate slides that they use internally for like their fiscal year. Like, yeah, this definitely this bleeds like somebody in a corporate boardroom designed that. So
You know, it's
Yeah, I'm
kind
gonna
of like
say
that
trad.
opening to that movie that feels like it's 3.5 hours long, but it's only an hour and a half. Yeah, that's what it feels.
Okay, so I have 2 comments about this cover. First of all, did you guys hear that 28 years later is getting made? the
Yes!
third installment
Yes!
is
Oh,
finally
it's-
coming.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was coming through or not.
And second, I just want to counter propose and point out that they didn't even fit the text onto the cover correctly.
No.
Oh yeah.
So no
dear.
bleed. The gutters are
Slightly
off.
off.
Yeah.
Which to me, like, it's not centered with the road either.
Mm-mm.
So both
Yeah.
of those things kind of scream an indie made a mistake.
Mhm.
Yeah.
However, all 3 of you are correct. That is a trad book.
Alright.
Woohoo! We're doomed.
We're doomed.
That's a bestseller. I probably should have looked up what it was about, but I looked at that cover and said, "Oh, I could not care less."
No.
Yeah. 3.5 hour
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Feels that way, right?
Okay,
All
here's
about
one
their
that you should
feelings.
recognize, actually,
Hmm.
because this
Legends and
blew up
lattes.
last year. Cozy fantasy after the adventure. These lesbians are going to settle down and make a coffee shop.
Yeah, I recognize
Low
this cover.
stakes
I've seen it on
company.
Goodreads before.
Yeah, no,
Good
this
for
was
them.
the darling child of Goodreads.
Yeah.
Which
I
one
recognize
is the abuser and which one is the abused?
Yeah, according to domestic violence.
No, it's cozy.
stats.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think it's trad.
Yeah, it's because I've seen the cover before, and I don't know. It has all the like stuff on the front that kind of I don't know implies it. But
Yeah, especially the
Yeah.
the quote at the top. Like, indies are generally just breaking in. So unless this is like a third reprint, or
Yeah, but I'm
something-
going to counter with this. This one hit like viral levels of popularity.
Right.
yeah, have you seen Fourth Wing? Like, if you look at like the amount of reviews on that, it's insane, and it's one of the most generic stories I have ever like read a sample of, and
Okay.
I am pressing F again for my boy Deathlag Dylan. He deserves so much better than that story. God bless that man. To be sacrificed.
So this feels, just based on the cover, this feels like a fanfic gone crazy. So I'm gonna say it's indie.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's trad, and the reason why is because it's exactly like what Aaron just said, but it's a fanfic who has connections.
Yeah.
Mm.
It got a sequel, by the way.
Nice.
So Staten Med, Chris, you said this was trad. You were correct.
Woohoo!
Whoa. Nice.
I genuinely thought that was an indie book, and I was just like, "Oh, I should check that out," because that's like the most popular indie book I've heard of in a long while.
Hmm.
I kind of see why you could think that because of like it actually does look quite nice as a cover. Like it definitely stands out. It separates itself from a lot of like other covers of fantasy because like a lot of fantasy and sci-fi all tend to fall into the same trap of either generic fantasy front cover
Yeah.
person
Yep.
with sword or generic spaceship,
Mhm.
and then from there on in, it just kind of
Yeah,
all kinds of
and-
bleeds together.
I gotta point out, indies are not like under a rock or something. Every
Mm-mm.
indie who publishes a book knows what a traditionally published book cover's layout looks like with the text and
Yeah.
such.
Mhm.
Everyone's perfectly capable of making it look like that, depending on their ability to get quotes and blurbs.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was like, well, maybe indie, you know?
But no, Tor published it, and that's probably why it made it onto the Hugo runner-up list.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fanfic with connections.
Yeah. You called it.
All right. Here we've got someone showed up and said, no, this is what Game of Thrones should have been about.
I'm not sure with this one.
That's
Yeah.
indie.
I was going to say the same. The only thing that
Mm.
puts doubt in my mind is the choice of the title font. But I'm going to say
Oh.
indie as well. I don't know, the font makes me think trad, but I'm going to go indie. Okay.
I'm gonna go indie as well, and mainly it's not using any accolades on the cover, and the image itself. And here's a weird thing that I've noticed with a lot of indies. A lot of times, the image itself doesn't look like it was designed for a cover when they made it, and
Yeah.
that's what this.
That
looks
does
like.
happen a lot.
Yeah.
That
Interesting.
arguably is one of the giveaways here.
Yep.
That
Yeah.
they had correct dead space to put the text over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's so Chris, you're like actually an illustrator, right?
Used to be.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm a
but you did
graphic
that map,
designer.
that was awesome, right?
Oh yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. So one of the things that blew me away when I started commissioning cover art was finding out that people that are good at painting, they don't consider it part of their skill set to also like do text composition. I was like, but it's the same skill set. I don't understand.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you look at this and see that things are kind of squeezed and overlapping, and do you get the correct funnel of attention? I think they did pretty good here, but there is something that correctly says it's indie. All three of you get a point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also
Yeah, I don't
the
know.
glow.
Just the bottom. It was like, okay, this person's already made us. They've already designed a trilogy, probably, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Just the way that it was, the lettering on the bottom. You know, it just all kind of felt very indie.
Well, look at the glow, the Photoshop glow or the blending style they're using on the text. Like
Okay.
they didn't use the correct bevel for the glow. So if you look at
Yeah.
like, the end,
I can't decide if that's meant to be like a carpet or a chasm or a weird mix of both.
Yeah, that's actually like the only issue I have with the art is I don't understand what these stroke things are. If this is like a 3-path death pit or something.
yeah, he's like marching into a waterless pool.
Yeah.
Doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh gosh.
Oh no.
I think you all know who this is.
Yeah.
Let's see. So
I do need
apparently
your
whoever
answers,
they
though.
were, they got the bestseller. New York Times to say is really good. Like, oh, good for you. All
You may or may not
5,000
know this, but
copies.
2022, she was something like 6 of the top 10 most sold books.
Wow. Jeez. She must
I
be
can
really
never-
good in bed.
I can never like tell whether Book Twitter likes her or just straight up doesn't like her. Like the thing with like Hoover and some of the other more higher up traditional authors, like they have such a polarized fan base. You have like the 5-star reviews, all just glowing, and then you have the downright 1-star where they just rip into them, like they've bloody upset them or something. I don't know.
Well, that's
So
that's
how-
kind of an
is-
achievement, though.
Is she?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Is she one of these authors that like has, you know, like
TikTok.
a gaggle of
Yep.
ghostwriters, and then they
No.
put their
Nope. No,
No, I
she-
don't
okay.
think so.
She
I
just
don't-
marketed herself on TikTok and exploded over COVID.
Huh.
Yeah, TikTok is like a really good way to promote yourself, but
to certain
Yeah.
demographics.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I do need your answers.
Yeah, I'm gonna say trad.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Trad as well.
Yeah, same here.
Just based on the art of, I mean, so far, you know, we keep seeing recurring that the Trads just they don't have a lot of interesting things going on. At least
Well-
like the indie stuff is trying. You know,
Well, no,
Yeah.
I gotta say
I'm-
though, like the 5-star versus 1-star thing, that's not a bad thing, guys. Like when
No,
you
I mean, her
polarize
writing
your
is bad.
audience, that's awesome. That means people.
I
actually,
just think
like.
I think
feel
it's
about the product.
it's an interesting like dynamic. Like you see so much split in opinion. It's really interesting.
Well, that's kind of the hallmark of an indie book is
Mhm.
that because like corporations when they design books, You know, they want it to be homogenous. They want it to
Right.
be that pasteurized grade milk, and
Yeah.
it's got to be safe. And when you get
Yeah.
raging 1 stars, that's an indie who's got the balls to do something that the corporates are like, look, we've had 30 business analysts tell us that you got to change these sentences.
Mm.
Right. Yeah.
So actually,
Our
I
AI
think
program.
that I'm not. Don't take this as me saying this is trad.
Okay.
But we all recognize this looks like a trad book.
Yep.
Yes.
I think it's actually a second order decision because particularly for a known name, Colleen Hoover has been in the scene for like 20 years now. Actually, she became a millionaire like 4 years ago. I think the logic is that people are going to be buying the book because they know the author and they stopped caring about the cover art. So the question becomes, what kind of book do you want to be seen holding? And it's actually kind of a safer decision to have a cover that doesn't mean anything. So that if someone walks over and asks, what are you reading? You don't have to answer, oh, this vampire non-consensual paranormal romance.
Oh, God.
Which is not what this is about for the record. But it gives the customer the ability to just flat out lie about what it is. And no one would know because the cover has no correlation to the inside.
Yeah.
It's all about feelings.
Ambiguous.
I think it's camouflage.
As covers go, it really does it doesn't really say anything. Like Heartbones, and then you've got a wind thing, and it's like, okay.
Upper middle class white woman. That's what it screams.
Yep.
Oh, that's who buys Colleen Hoover.
Yep.
But I got to break it to you guys. All of you said this is a trad book. Colleen Hoover got her stars in Indie.
Right on.
Good for her.
She was picked up by a trad company a couple years ago, though. This is a trad book.
Nice.
Yeah, well, that's why I was saying, like, it having like the 5 and the 1 stars, like she's probably like I know some authors do this where they've had enough clout, like they do this in Hollywood all the time. Like you get a director or whatever that's like, look, I just made this studio X billions. Stop meddling in my shit. And you start getting like the weird brazen things, and that's when you get like the extremely polarizing views. And in my opinion, and I know this is not gonna win me any fans, but like as much as Rian Johnson ruined Star Wars, I respect that, like, hey, people are talking about this because the Vanillaware that came out afterwards, that god awful follow up there with Jar Jar ruined movies, Abrams, like it was so vanilla that they're just like, okay, so Rey's a Palpatine or Skywalker, like, and that was it. But like people are still talking about, you remember that scene where the kid grabbed the thing and they were doing the stupid thing through the casino and all, like that's people's minds. Like that's an indie thing. And I like that. I love when people take risks like that.
Yeah. Ryan won in a way, I guess you could say.
All right.
Huh. Eat.
That's cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little deceptive because it's very simple, but there's a lot going on. So it's like I want to say trad, but it's
I'm going to say
interesting
indie
enough for me to say indie.
Yeah. It reminds me of like that first book where like the text was all on the front, but like if you just change it around a bit and bring the person to the front, it actually might stand out more and catch someone's attention because it interacts with the title in a unique way, you know.
I don't like this one's kicking my ass. I would have to say indie, mainly because I don't think that they would approve a pencil drawing from a corporate perspective. But yeah, I guess it's I guess I'd have to say indie. Sorry.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was trad and they took a risk on it, but I'm gonna probably lean more towards indie.
Aaron, final answer?
All right, final answer. I will say that is man. I want to go against the grain, but I'm just gonna go indie. Yeah, just because it's interesting.
All three of you say
I haven't
indie?
I haven't seen one interesting trad book.
All three of you are correct.
Awesome, dude. That's a poster, man. That is a really good.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I was like, ooh, this is not only a good cover, but this is a tricky one.
It shut all of us up for like 10 seconds.
It does have the like standard appeal. If you look at it and you go, "Oh, this is a book," but if you notice that it's not plastered with quotes.
No accolades. Yeah.
Like that's one I actually should have censored, and you would have all. I think I would have gotten you all to say it was trad.
Yeah,
No, that's
I
just a
think you would.
well-designed indie cover.
Yeah, I liked it.
Good for him, man, or her.
Hmm. Huh. I mean, again, a lot of detail makes me say indie.
Yeah, these
Nah,
are
I'm
getting
gonna,
tough.
I'm gonna
Just
say,
going, the detail of this means.
I'm gonna say
Hmm.
trad
Indie.
because a lot of trad covers have this explosion of detail that doesn't really say anything. Personally,
Yeah. This is the only thing that would have made this look indie in my opinion is if they used a free font like Cinzel or something.
Right.
But yeah, the abstract cover and then the offset, the right justified with the left. I'm gonna have to say trad as well. I'm not seeing any accolades, but it just looks like it looks like it was corporate designed. So,
Yeah. I don't know. I agree with the the abstract doing nothing, and then you talk about the font and all that. I agree with all that. Yeah, I would say that's trad too because of that.
Hold on. Do you guys not see what the illustration is?
it's
Looks like a bird in
crow
water.
oh yeah, it's a bird. Yeah, it's
Yes,
kind
why
of the
Okay, well,
water
that's
just
not
kind
what I
of-
would call abstract.
Well,
okay.
I
it
think
just doesn't tell me anything. It just says a drowning bird.
True.
Like,
to be fair, from me leaning back, it was kind of hard. I just saw water. I didn't even.
Yeah.
I can sort of see the wings, but yeah.
Yeah.
It it actually is a decent cover. Like if you look closely at it, but from a distance, it would probably it all just blurs together. Honestly, with the exception of like the title standing out a bit.
Yeah.
Although they did make one big no-no for a corporate designed thing. You never put red on blue or orange on green or whatever. And they're doing that here because you get something called chromatic aberration. If you look at this cover for more than 10, 15 minutes, you're going to get a splitting headache. Yeah.
Never heard of
Okay.
that before.
Yeah. The
Thanks a
red is
lot.
trying to like you'll see this on iPhone displays. It's hilarious. It looks like the text is floating whenever you see red on blue or whatever. Because the red is trying to come forward and the blue is trying to recede, but at the same time, the blue is trying to come forward and the red is trying to recede. So it creates this thing called chromatic aberration. You'll generally see it on old photographs where there's like a purple halo around images.
Oh.
I almost want to say indie now.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
saying
a
trad.
rookie mistake, but for some reason it's still called. I could be wrong.
I'm
In fact,
kind of
I
halfy half
probably
on
am.
this one because I've seen
Yeah.
a lot of trad covers that are very over detailed, but I think you know what I'm gonna flip. I'm gonna go indie. And if I'm wrong, so be it. But I'm gonna make indie. Looking at it a bit closer.
Are you standing alone as the indie?
Yeah, why not? I might as well. I'll probably be losing.
Yeah,
anyway,
Aaron,
so
Chris,
like
you
it.
both say this is trad?
I'm saying
I'd say
trad.
it's
Yeah.
trad. Yep.
Indie.
Ooh.
Whoa! Good on you, man. Yeah, I would have changed the stroke width on the title because it.
Yeah, the typography is a little jank.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason I switched to indie was because I when I looked close, when I actually leaned forward to actually see the finer details, I was thinking, you know what, I wouldn't expect that in the trad, but an indie, that like level of detail is you kind of, I don't know, it's maybe just expected thing because it's when trad covers are made, it's always through someone else, whereas with an indie creator they have to kind of go between with the artist and
Yeah.
whoever's doing it.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more personal into it.
It's funny because
that red on
originally I was
blue,
like,
though.
"There's so much detail. It's got to be indie."
Yeah.
I should have stayed with it.
For
Yeah,
the record, I
especially if that was
actually
a photo.
like the illustration. Like
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't think it's bad.
the text should be thicker so that it isn't like being consumed by the water. Because paramount in a thumbnail, you must be able to instantly read the title.
Yeah.
I wonder if you like switch the colors around it, like a black and white, maybe, or something like that. I don't know. It might have stood out more.
Yeah,
Of
if
a
this
bird
was
being submerged.
Oh.
if this was
Yeah.
a fully grayscale image, the blood red would have worked better. But
Really
again,
popped,
that blue,
yeah.
like look where the
Maybe.
stroke gets really thin. It starts to make your eye strain just to make
Yeah.
out the letter. Like it looks almost like a 13 instead of a B.
Okay.
Wow, I feel personally called out.
My favorite author, author of
Now
Ireland,
then,
or whatever. It's
what
called.
did I find here? Did I find a traditionally published, like high society book, or did
Yeah.
some madman come into my Twitter and just be like, "This is what you need"?
Yellow faced.
Yeah, that
Yang.
it almost looks like a food, like a salt shit, like a Morton salt like canister.
Huh. I don't know. Man. I would say that this looks like a book about the plight of Asians in America being oppressed as they do because they score high on IQ tests or whatever.
That's right.
So
Quackle.
I'm gonna say, yeah, that's right, stupid. No, so I'm gonna say that's Indy. That's somebody who was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a crazy, pop out of nowhere book cover.
Oh,
Yep.
I would
Aaron
go the
says it's
opposite
an indie
route.
book. He knows the kinds of people that follow me.
Yeah. I would go the opposite and say that our mainstream media wants to promote victimology, and this book
Ooh.
screams victimology, and the
Hmm.
awful communist art design is clearly reeks of corporate boardroom. And
Yeah.
obviously RF Kuang here is an Asian American, like right off the bat, he's probably a fob or she. I can't tell by the initials. But yeah, speaking as the owner Asian on the panel. No, I just, this looks like boardroom schlock. I'm sorry, I don't know the content of the book, but judging by this, and again, this is totally prejudice, this looks like straight up.
Whoa,
corporate
you're
design.
prejudiced about the
Prejudiced.
book Yellowface?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say trad.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand out on this one and say Indy just because.
Yeah, no, this is Trad, published by William
William
Morrow,
Morrow.
which is part of HarperCollins. This was the Reese's book
right.
club pick.
Ooh.
Oh God, I recognize Krang.
I should have looked.
She,
This is definitely one I should have had the blurb ready. But I tried reading the blurb, and it was just like one accolade after the next. I couldn't even find what the book was about.
Oh God,
I was like,
Stunning and
fuck.
brave. Stunning and
There's
brave.
Yeah,
known
I think you nailed
for
it on
the-
that one.
what was it called? Babel, I believe. Like I say, a lot of the trad ones I'll probably recognize because when I'm bored, I sometimes read Goodreads just to kind of see what books are out and stuff.
But I just want to point out, I didn't notice this when I was making the slideshow, but her pupils aren't the same size,
Yeah. She has a concussion.
or she's out of her mind on like Xanax or something.
You know what's funny as well? The Babel cover that she has is actually really good. I really like it. It's kind of got that pencil look to it, and it really stands out, even though it's trad published. And I do like the cover, even if I think it's a bit, the contents are a bit, it's not the best, not for everyone, but it's a decent cover. I'll say that much. Babel.
So Patty in the chat, he says, I wonder how much the cover designer got paid for that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
True.
Honestly,
Here's
probably
yellow
a
and
ton.
some eyes.
Probably
You had
far
one
more than they
job.
deserved.
Yeah,
What-
you have one
what, Ben?
job and you couldn't even get the pupil size. Like you literally could have just copied and pasted the black circle.
Well, you see, they're redefining the whole art medium by not doing that. You see.
Yeah, it's deconstructionist. Like,
Yeah, they've mastered the traditional form, and now they feel that they can screw around with basic forms.
yeah, we've
Picasso.
reached the pretentious Picasso stage.
Exactly. Thank you for picking that up. Yeah, exactly.
Jackson Pollock, here we come.
All right. Sorry. All right. Well, this one, I think I remember this one. So
It's good.
Patty's, yeah, I would agree. We can talk RPG book covers sometime if you want.
Yeah.
But I tried to keep this specifically to prose covers because, like, I didn't even want to venture into comics. That's when the cover of the comic is actually informing you about the direct quality of the inside. You get into a lot more dynamics.
Yeah, comics are generally quite flexible because, like, the cover will be sometimes just out there, and the contents will be very different. Maybe I don't know. At least from what I've seen.
Well, that's kind of why I make it a point that every one of my comic book covers, the standard edition, especially during crowdfunding, is done by the interior art team, and that if I do have variant, if I got like variant covers or whatever, I don't want people to feel bait and switched. because nothing sucks worse than looking at an awesome cover. You open the book and it's like, what the hell is this crap?
The thing is, like, when it comes to eventually getting my own cover sorted, I kind of want to make sure that at least it depicts something from the story itself, or as close to it as possible to give a correct idea.
All right, so I have a short story that I do want to turn into a standalone graphic novel because I think it's actually a very, very tight and high quality short story. The problem is, what would sell the book best would be spoilers for the book.
Oh,
But I want to though.
But it might make someone go, aha, that's why the cover was like that. I don't know. It's up to you though.
yeah.
All right,
I don't
so
know, at
we
least
have this one.
For me, in the comic books kind of scene, I'm okay with spoilers. You know, like I'm like sure, because like the comic, I'm gonna get, you know, half of it I'm gonna get for the art anyways, and then I also like to see those things play out. So like I don't know, I'm just that kind of guy. I'm like, I don't really mind spoilers that bad. I mean, now movies, maybe that's a little different. I don't know, but comics themselves, I like to sit and watch people review comics. So that's why I'm trying to pick up doing that more on my channel. Is just flip through comics and talk about them. You know, I do get permission from the like. I think the next comic we're gonna do is Lucent by Michael Bancroft, and I got permission from him to show the whole thing. So
hell yeah,
that'll be fun. Kind of go through and talk about it. But sorry, that's another subject. Anyways.
Segue.
All right, I need your guesses here, guys. We got a sci-fi photo bash on our hands.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna say indie on my side because the title is they've discovered that Microsoft allows you to color outline the white text,
the glow.
Yeah. The glow.
Yeah.
The glow.
Well, that and the typography is terrible. And I'm not trying to take a jab at the creator, but it was something that actually James said earlier. It's like it's paramount for you to be able to read right off the bat. This is difficult to read at a distance. If I take my glasses off, I can't read Infinity Reach. It's all blending in with the clouds and everything.
Yeah.
You know, I think you just mispronounced his title and made it a lot cooler. If this was Infinity Breach,
yeah, I thought that was Infinity Breach.
I should take that down. Hold on.
Yeah, the dyslexics.
Yeah, the view from Infinity Beach. Okay, I get it.
Okay, so again, there's a lot of detail. There's a lot going on. It's an interesting cover.
It is interesting.
Picture for more than 5 seconds, and find shit that I'm looking at. Anyway, so and besides, I think I've seen this one before, so I'm gonna say indie.
You know what they should have done, right? They should have had the Infinity Beach like on the kind of horizon, and it just stretches out infinity.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I think this might be a Gene Seed kind of colony ship. Between we have to travel 1,000 light years to get to our destination. A generation ship. That's what it's called.
Generation ship. Yeah.
Okay, so all three of you are saying indie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why can't I find my cursor? All three of you are correct. This is definitely an indie.
I don't know. The concept's got me intrigued, but the cover.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm cool with the concept.
It has the hallmarks.
Yeah.
But I should point out that
Photoshop.
there are good reasons to make these shortcuts. Books don't really make money. And I'm not here to fault somebody for trying to reduce their costs. Books don't make enough money. It's bullshit that the guy who writes the book makes the least amount of money off of it.
Yeah, I mean, if I saw this on a shelf, I probably would pick it up just because, like, even if the title doesn't really stand out to me, like the person standing on a beach staring at what looks like some kind of power beam thing would definitely be. Okay, I'll maybe at least check a few pages to see if it catches my interest.
All I can think
regardless
of
its flaws.
No, dude, this looks like the Citadel from Mass Effect.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, is that construction paper in the back?
I don't know. Is this for some reason I got that scene, the Joker in '89 Batman. Trust. Tell me, who can you trust? Yeah.
So as we were going through this, I've realized something else.
What's that?
That I will explain to you after I collect your guesses.
All right.
I'm going to say trad because I think Trust should have been behind the building. I don't know why. I just think,
What? So you can't read the U?
or even just raise it up a bit. Just I don't know. The building like stands out, but it just looks kind of, I don't know. It doesn't really stand out much. I think Trust kind of just blurs into it.
I think that it's got that deconstructionist art style,
Yeah.
which is
No,
the
that's
hallmark
Art
of
Deco.
Yeah, but it's like it's basically like a snow globe with a like the most detailed item in there is the skyscraper, but
Okay.
it's like not the dominating element. Like the background is, and the background looks like arts and crafts, and then you got like the smoke in there that looks like it. That's a pretty easy layer to throw in. Honestly, it feels trad. It feels like, again, this is going to sound terrible, but this looks like this book is designed for women.
I mean, very possible.
All right,
it's
all
got the
three of you said
colors.
this is trad?
Yeah, I'm going to say that.
I mean,
Aaron's still in the.
those censors, those smiley faces are kind of throwing me. It's like, no, he did that on purpose.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Jesse knows what he's doing. I mean,
Like
James
the
knows what
first
he's doing.
one.
he's really messing with us. But yeah, I'm gonna go trad as well.
All three of you are correct. This is the most trad I found on the list. Published by
Endorsed by
Penguin
Obama,
Publishing
even.
Group, won the Pulitzer Prize, a New York Times bestseller, and it was endorsed by Obama.
Oh, you know it's good.
That explains why it's designed for women.
Yeah. Why
And
women
this
love
is like the
Obama?
fifth book on 2023 bestsellers.
Wow.
What's it about? Government, enclosed citizenry, and you should trust them.
I have no idea.
Sounds like
15-minute
Obama would
cities.
like that.
I
Yeah.
believe this is another one where the blurb was just 17 different endorsements from groups I don't like.
So it's focusing on the world of finance by the looks of it, from what I can say.
Oh, I actually did find this one. This is about the 1920s. This is the corruption of Wall Street in the Great Gatsby era.
Oh.
Hence the Art Deco. Got it.
Mm.
Oh, come on.
See, I love that design.
That is good.
That I like. It sucks that indies like know what customers want more than corporations.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm going to say indie like.
All right. It sounds like all three. Aaron,
Yeah, it's indie.
all three of you are saying indie.
Yeah.
Chris,
Mhm.
how much do you think that this commission cost? If you had to ballpark this illustration here.
depending on the artist, I would say no more than like $1,000. If it costs more than $1,000, then awesome to the artist. But it looks like there's been a lot of digital chicanery in there,
Interesting.
so it could.
But
be
even though,
cheaper.
let's just take a guess at 1,000. Do you really think an indie is going to be affording $1,000 for their cover?
Possibly. I would think so. If they're willing to put the money aside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How bad do you want it?
Especially if it's
Yeah.
book one, because they'll blow more
This is
money
book
on
four.
book one. Oh,
I know if it's book
four.
4. If it's book 4 and they've got a decent money aside and they've got a decent business sense, then there's no reason not to. If you're especially prepared and have everything laid out and
Generally,
got your deadlines sorted out.
generally, if you're indie, book 4 is a lot less. It is usually cheaper made, cheaper made than book 1, because book 1 is in an indie is where you make all your mistakes and you generally blow the most amount of money on it. So yeah, that's you bring up a really good point, James. I would have to. There's something about that screams indie. If that's trad pub, kudos to whomever the production team
Yeah,
was, 'cause
definitely.
that looks awesome.
Definitely.
For their follow in the chat, we got Akos and B.A. Turner.
Hey,
What's up?
Now to reveal. So all three of you are still saying indie?
Yeah. Yep.
All three of you are correct.
Haha. This is okay. So look at the,
This person, I believe, is the
more
largest
detail.
account to respond to me. This EM Kula, their tag is EK Kula. I'm not
Right.
sure. Has
I
like
wish I had that as well.
15,000 followers on Twitter. And I really hope that they go and repost my advertisement for this stream.
yeah.
Because genuinely, this person is probably just selling like hotcakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is that right there. Like, even as it is with all the lettering and everything on it, I would hang that.
It looks
on my
very
wall.
nice. Same.
Yeah.
I love the title as well. Now that I've looked at it, The Triumph of Mars. Ooh, like
Yeah.
that. And then you've got like
Ships
a
of
big,
Britannia, book 4.
big,
Yeah,
big
no, this looks like
dragon
good shit.
thing, and it's like, what? Okay.
Yeah. My
And
only,
of course, it has the nice orange to blue standard composition
Yep.
to draw your
Yeah.
attention
Yeah.
to. These are the protagonists.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's the warmth and the cold, or the candle in the darkness. But my only gripe would be the stroke width on the non-focused elements, i.e., the, of, and Ships of Britannia Book 1, because it looks
So
like. Oh, I'm sorry,
I may
Book
have
4.
had a download error with this one because I just went to Amazon, right?
Hmm.
And when I zoomed in on the cover, I was seeing pixelation to the font. I actually had to
Oh.
alert the author. I was like, your metadata might be scruffed. You should
Yeah.
go look at that. It's either a download error or an upload error, and it's worth checking because they're an indie.
Yeah,
I would say, as somebody, not with a lot of art experience, I do think that the image should be more of the cover and less of the foggy stuff. Like you can put the words in the fog, but up top, that window should be completely filled with the image. In my opinion, I think it would look better.
I think that the author's name should have been there should have been a horizontal black gradient bar that spanned the center of the page and got more transparent as it got closer to the edges, because I can't read the name of the author there.
Yeah, it drowns
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, the L's are actually like completely gone.
Yeah. And then the same thing with Book 4. The stroke width on it's a font choice, but the 4 looks like a 1 to me. Like I had to do the the zoom in to.
You
But
could
I
probably-
love the silhouette though, the title Triumph Mars.
For the record, I am tracking the points, and there is a tie game right now.
I'm
Oh.
probably.
Whoa.
The tie does not include Aaron. We're getting very close. I don't remember how many more I have.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
I guess just looking at this cover, I really feel like I hate white people, and I'm not sure why. I don't know. It's in there. Just kidding.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
trad.
trad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
if we're talking
definitely-
about unreadable text.
Yeah, it's just too white.
See?
Because the white is just on like 17 different background colors.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is actually a mess.
Oh yeah. Well, that and like if the entire that's a very long title for you to have full focus on all words. Like if the daughter of was less focused, like a smaller font, and then Dr. Moreau was larger, you would because your brain wants to read like as few words as possible.
Well,
to,
you
to
can't
drop.
underemphasize that the character is the daughter of public domain character,
Yeah. Well, if the daughter and then all if the and of were less focused, and then it was just daughter and then Dr. Moreau, the brain would have been easier to pick that up. But like you said, you've got all this massive detail. You've got generic white font that looks like it's copperplate Gothic or something, and it's giving me a headache, honestly, just looking at it. But
It's
also
one of those times
screams-
where I think you could get away with a black border around white text like that, and it would at
Yeah.
least make
Sure,
it easier on the
stroking
eye.
is a godsend for readability.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
but
term for it back in Adobe Photoshop CS2.
Yep. Yeah, but this just screams like made for women, and made by a probably one of the bigger publishers. That it just
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, there you go.
And they're
Yeah.
marketing to
Strad.
Hispanic women.
well, yeah, it's the victimology thing again. It's the daughter of Dr. Moreau, so it's Latino, it's not instead of telling you the story. they're
Look at
gonna
the
tell you
name,
about
it
some
was like
identity.
Garcia, and
Yeah.
the lady on the cover. It's like, okay.
Well, it's more about identity than it is about the story, which is a little
Right.
disappointing.
Yeah.
All right. So I think there's 2 more. I
Okay.
don't remember. So I'm going to allow you guys to start betting your points now.
Oh,
Oh, huh.
All right, I believe there's at least one more. This is really stupid of me. Let's go top to bottom. Stotten Med, would you like to bet points? You have 12 available.
No.
Okay. Well, you have to bet at least
yeah,
one.
you have to bet at least one.
Oh,
point.
okay. Okay, I'll bet 3.
Aaron, you were at 9.
I am gonna bet them all.
Chris,
Mhm.
you're also at 12.
Oh, okay. So how many do we have to? Is it just for this specific one?
Yeah.
We're betting
I'll let you. If there's more, you can bet on we'll do this again.
Okay. I'll bet 7.
Okay.
You know what? Okay. I'll stay with my bet. Whatever. I always play it safe. I can't help it.
Ooh, look at this. Yeah, I mean, again, a lot of detail. Just on that alone, I'm gonna say Indy.
Yeah, not getting me this time.
It's like somebody
I'm gonna
actually
say
cares
Indie.
about the cover. I'm gonna say Indy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Even
Indie
if that's
as well.
an AI image, I still think that whoever made that cares more about their book than
I will not be fooled by that
28
sly
miles
smiley
or
face.
The smiley face is not a kudos.
Yeah.
That one's tough because it's cutting the corners.
I'm not saying it's
giving you the-
AI. I hope it's not.
Yeah, it looks like AI.
Yeah, it has that look. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. AI is at that stage now where it went from what Dolly drawings to like really kind of insane in some cases with how close to good it is.
And the typography on that author name, oh, that's frustrating. Like the 2 F's in Jeffrey or Jeffrey.
Oh, just getting lost into the glossy
Yeah.
sheen of hair.
Yeah.
His manly hairdo. Yeah.
I like the sparks overlapping the Inferno. Like I really like that lettering there. That looks cool.
Yeah.
Am I the
that
only
is-
one that looks at this and sees one of the old Hunger Games covers?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It does me-
I could see that
Catching
now.
Fire.
I would expect this for Hunger Games, like.
Mockingjay or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Catching Fire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so final answers. Did all 3 of you say this is Indy?
Yeah.
Indy, yeah.
Indy.
Okay, making me do a lot of fucking math here.
Oh, no.
Because yes, that is Indy.
Boom.
I was covering up nothing.
Oh yeah.
Nice try.
You
got
Covering
me
up
one,
that cool AI.
So
No,
Aaron,
it's
you're
a
now at
great
18
proposition.
points. Stop Mad, you're at 15.
Yay.
I just want to say in the chat, Edming is Mad Love says could be young adult seeing young adult with AI covers recently. Yeah, I'm not surprised with that.
Yeah.
Infinitale Chronicles. Mr. Chris is in first place
Woohoo!
at 19 points.
Earned it.
I think there's one more. Actually, I'd probably be sorry. I can check locally. Wait. So prepare yourselves because there is more betting to be done.
Oh.
Oh,
Boy, I like to gamble.
didn't know there'd be some light gambling in this.
Yeah. I gotta call my sponsor real quick.
I'm terrible when it comes to taking risks. I always play it safe. Can't help it.
You like the pony starting?
How many more are there? Oh, there's
loan
okay.
out.
There are. I can tell you right now, there are 2 more covers to gamble on.
Okay.
Okay. Stop, Matt. How many are you betting? You have 15 to bet with.
I'll go
Drake's
5.
Casino.
Slowly increasing it.
Okay.
I'm gonna bet all.
Okay.
18.
Chris?
What am I at? 19?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I will bet 15.
Uh-oh. Craig's Casino. Craig's Casino started. Huh. Whoa. Okay. This is a little bit more.
Yeah.
I am. Ooh,
I
that's a tough
will
one.
put in a disclaimer: these are not necessarily the covers that the book's launched with.
Really?
Oh.
That's interesting.
I
like
gonna
the
say,
cover. At least the name. You can say the name. That's nice.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm gonna say indie on this one. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna, judging from the composition and the act, they couldn't resist putting a stupid accolade on the front like that. This feels like corporate design. I'll say trad.
I'm going to counter. If I had an accolade, I would put it on my fucking cover.
Yeah.
True. But something
but
about
it's
this feels
trad.
sterile. No, something about this feels like it was made in a company. Like a lot of eyes were on this. Like indies still have that rough, like it could really, really work or it could really, really not. Like that awesome one we saw with the dragon coming up from the boat. That could have gone either way. This feels safe.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna go trad as well.
Okay, so that Stop Matt said trad. Aaron, did you say trad or indie?
I'm going indie.
Chris?
Trad.
All right, so as we are sitting here looking at what appears to me to be like the local theater troops druid outfit, I'm just going to grab a picture of a friend.
Yeah.
Trad, published by Tor. That one's a Hugo.
Nice.
I saw the title somewhere, but I couldn't remember. It was one of those times where I think, have I seen that before when I've been browsing randomly? Couldn't remember.
Aaron, you have been eliminated. You have no points.
I am out.
Oh.
I've been cleaned out. You bastards. I want to recount.
Wait, just go like this. Yeah, no, I will share my my scoreboard in the Gilded after this. You guys should check it out.
I'll have to join the Gilded because I've been meaning to for a while now.
All of you should be in the Gilded.
Yeah.
I've
more
only
than just the
recently
book club.
discovered it, to be honest. I've always used Discord. I didn't really hear about Gilded until like really recently.
It's knockoff Discord.
Yeah.
Okay. There is one cover remaining. The score is 20 with Sotmat, Aaron at 0, and 34 for Chris.
Yeah. Powerhouse.
I mean, come on, guys. It's all or nothing, right?
That's what I was going to say. I'm going to, what? I'm going to go all in.
There we go.
Might as well save the best for last.
Okay, cool.
That's right.
I'll use all my command
remember
spells.
your name.
I bought the house.
That's hilarious. Patty says James was doodling phalluses while pretending to record scores.
Some of them do look a little
Like
phallic,
it
I'll be honest. I wasn't doodling with a pen. I was trying to track everything with a mouse. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm
No, it's that
gonna say-
movie with who's that? With the dude, and he goes to that porn producer's place,
Lebowski?
and he's just like, yeah, Big Lebowski. He like scratches a note real quick, and then he leaves. And Lebowski overdone. It's just a penis. He's like,
We go through all this like expert detective work. Yeah.
Sorry. All right, a slow ship to oblivion.
To oblivion. It looks good.
A novella. Don't forget the text there.
Yeah.
A novella.
We're on the road to nowhere.
I might
America's
check
not
out
that bad. Slow ship to oblivion, huh? I don't know. I'm gonna say that's indie.
Yeah, same. I think my issue with it is that the cover actually itself, it stands out visually, but the title is the color choice is really kind of like, I think they could have done something differently there to make the title stand out a bit more, especially the name of the author at the bottom.
name, you can't hardly see.
reddish color doesn't work.
Yeah. It needs more.
The name should be
luminosity
bigger.
or saturation.
Or it should be at the top in the black. Personally
Well,
speaking,
in my opinion, what I would have done was I like the idea of the the gunmetal gray or whatever it is, the
Yeah.
desaturated background, but you have to contrast that with saturated text. And he did both of them desaturated, and it makes it difficult to read, especially the name Jake and Terra. Was it Terrault or Terrialt? And
Theriault,
then
I think.
yeah, Therialt. And then I liked what he did with the ship and the TJ. Like he actually has the line cutting through it, so it's got an angle. Like that's kind of cool. But yeah, that again, it's interesting, but I can't read God does
can't read
not
that.
want
Yeah.
us here. Like
Yeah, that's
there's too
small.
much to read. Like it's indie. It's totally like that 100%.
That should probably be like at the top, or you could even switch the black and the white around, maybe, and it would maybe work better. I don't know, but then again, the slow ship might be hard to read.
Okay,
Honestly,
so I'm going to reveal something to you guys. I mentioned this earlier, and then I was like, "Oh, I can't give it away." It is apparently a compulsion of TradPub to tell buyers this book that you're picking up is in fact a novel.
Oh yeah.
Trad just is compelled to put on the front cover. This is a novel. In this case, this is a novella. Which is the weirdest thing to me because, like, it should be immediately obvious that's what it is by the cover.
Yeah.
If you need to say that's like putting the end at the end of your book. Who does that?
Yeah.
This is an orange.
This is not a pipe.
Yeah.
So, with that said, are any of you changing? Or are all three of you saying this is an indie cover?
It's too many snakes for me. This looks indie to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say indie.
I say the background looks fantastic. Like even if the title and stuff like doesn't
It's
do
a
it
good
for me,
cover.
the background would have me sold instantly. Just saying that now.
I would say I like that cover first of all, but that's probably why I think it's an indie.
Yeah.
It is indeed an indie. Which
Book is
means
displaying its
final score.
pronouns.
Final score. Which, by the way, his title for his name is straight up unreadable.
Yep.
Yeah.
Slow. I can't. Yeah.
Yep. Needs to be bigger or something.
Oh,
all right, that is the end. So the points here. Immortal Rising Comics, Mr. Aaron, you have 0. You lose, sir. Good day.
Good day.
But I wanted Snozzberries.
Wait a minute. But I didn't get a point for getting that one right?
No, you got knocked out. You were at 0, man. You had
0 plus 0.
Second
0 plus
place.
0.
Starting bad. At 40
Yay.
points, which is very respectable. But the grand victor is Chris with 68 points.
Woohoo!
Boom.
nice. Well done.
Yeah.
And by the way, hello to everyone that has joined us in the chat. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe and help me get monetized so I can do more fun stuff. The link to the Gilded, I will be getting this into there. The link is in the description. You just have to apply. What did we learn about covers today?
The more
A lot of thought tends to go into some indie covers because, like I say, when you're commissioning an art for someone from someone, you're putting a description and all kinds of stuff. It's a lot more into it. You're putting a lot more into it than like whereas with Trad, I imagine there's a lot more other like various groups and God knows what else who handles all that stuff because it's all on the back of the Trad publisher or other than the author who just has to try and market themselves as best they can, really.
I honestly think the fewer people involved in the cover design, the better it looks.
Yeah.
And it's sink or swim, but I think that the book there with the dragon in the water, like if I saw that on the shelf, I would have bought it.
Definitely.
Yeah. Triumph
What was
of Mars.
the snake one as well? The snake one looked
Yeah,
really
the snake one is gorgeous. Like
fantastic.
those are that my eye is instantly drawn to that.
That was its name. I need to write that down.
Minimalist, but quite good. I would
Yeah,
definitely turn that cover over and read the back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kudos
Which
to those
we
guys.
should all keep in mind that the only thing a cover has to do is make you read the blurb.
Yeah.
Nobody is going to buy without reading the blurb.
Yep. Yeah, that what do they call that? The log line or the
I still can't believe I got conned into thinking this was an indie book.
Honestly, the only other thing that kind of tells me that it's traditional published is the kind of is it Tumblr art style?
Mhm.
I
It's
don't know if
not Tumblr. The noses aren't red.
hers
It
is-
has
the
that
orcs is-
Tumblr. It has the Tumblr-ish.
Well, it's soft.
It's a descendant. It's a descendant of that.
No,
I would
it's soft and feminine. Like even though it's like
Mm.
like
Mm.
you know, it's dark, it's fantasy or whatever, and modernized corporate fantasy is soft and feminine. Like they use
It is
pastels.
unique. And I'll give
Like-
credit where it's due. It stands out in its own way. It separates itself from all the other kind of stuff where it all just blurs together. It actually kind of looks interesting in a way.
Yeah.
So I think possibly the most important takeaway here is indies don't really screw up the illustration typically.
Mm-mm.
Although I definitely skipped some pretty bad covers. But I think the indies are actually distracted by the illustration or the photo bashing, and they don't realize how important actually the text is.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mm.
I agree.
I
with that.
opened by dunking on this trash, but you can read it perfectly.
Yep.
Yeah,
You
yeah, I'll
you
say
can
that.
see that at a glance from across the aisle in a grocery store and go, "Oh, that's my, New York City approved
Yeah.
literary masterpiece."
So be it. Yeah.
Yeah, elite approved.
The peoples love it.
Yeah, there's
But
your
you go to something. Well, man, that one's probably fine.
Eats good, I will say.
But you glance at this, and you might flat out miss the author's name there.
Mhm, mhm.
Mm.
Yeah,
So honestly, I think that's if we assume that I chose a fair sampling. Actually, I probably chose a biased sampling towards the better covers. And even now, we're saying like, hey, for as cool as this charcoal spaceman is,
Mhm.
we can barely read it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've definitely seen
Yeah.
covers where I literally could not see some of the letters. And I was like, I can't search for the book to buy it if I don't know what the title is.
well,
Yeah.
well, it looks like it says a ship TJ Oblivion. Like like
Yeah.
should-
Chopping off the letters was probably a style mistake.
you should
Mhm.
see Brandon Sanderson's recent science fiction book that's come out on Good.
I really
which
need to get back to reading Sanderson.
It's called Long Chills in Case Store, and the cover, right? It's just I don't know if this is the actual cover, but it's just a guy who looks like he's a detective, and that's like, and he's like, but it's deer. It's like a circuit board kind of cover. It's interesting. It's a low
Hmm.
rating, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So it came out 1st of December.
It's called the slow ship to oblivion. The cover makes you slow down and consider picking it
Well,
up.
I
again.
can
Yeah.
show that.
Yeah.
I forgot I had this feature.
Oh my god, that's the Sunlit Man as well. Looks really good.
I would love to have had a crack at like the cover, the image itself. I don't take issue with.
Yeah,
but
no,
the
it's
typography.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is purely a failure of typography.
Yeah, maximum 3 words, guys. Like
Hmm.
that's
Dean, Dean Koontz has some good covers as well.
You did make a
Sorry.
top seller according to Amazon.
I'm sorry, I'm just browsing Goodreads in the background.
I think after
All right,
after
well,
I get
I
off
enjoyed
this Drisk
this.
kick,
I
I'm
wanna
gonna
do
get
this.
into Sanderson as well.
Apparently, there's a lot of indies in Twitter that want to throw their covers at me to supply these kinds of game shows.
Nice.
And I can just choose like Tor's bestseller list is one category, or Goodreads top, or whatever, or
Mhm.
like actually just revisit the Hugo nominees or something. So I could definitely do this again. I had fun.
It was
yeah,
fun, yeah.
yeah. This was
Yeah,
really cool.
definitely.
Man.
Educational too. It's market research.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, especially
I'm
having
actually
Chris on.
pretty happy with this cover, and I'm pretty happy with what I'm commissioning for my next book right now.
Awesome.
Yeah, your covers look good.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. And you can find the link to my books in the description as well.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right, so we got through this hour 15. I think that was basically a perfect length for this kind of stream. So if you guys want to wrap up with advertising yourselves once again, please go ahead, because you were fantastic contestants.
Oh, right on.
Okay. Who's first? Just anyone?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was Kieran Stott, aka Stott and Mad. I am the author of the Infinitum universe, which is just generally a group of stories all taking place within a sort of its own universe, with each sphere and stuff doing its own thing. I have a bunch of serials like the Fall Years for Roswell, Human, and a few other things, and a novel in works. If you have Substack and wish to read any of the random stories I post on there, including Children of the Entity and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Very cool. I guess I'll go next. So I'm Aaron. I got Immortal Rising. Immortal Rising #1.
Nice.
Art by Jose Garcia. It's a beautiful, was it the Castlevania style meets Final Fantasy style. It's very, very epic, high fantasy. So if that's your speed with manga kind of inspired manga anime, this guy is a professional animation artist for many years. Gorgeous work. It looks like you're reading an anime. So go check it out. I've got maybe a dozen left on Fund My Comic, which should be in the description. And those 12, I think, that are left roughly, those come with the stretch goals of like 8 chibi stickers, a magnet, and stuff like that. Those are in limited supply. So once those are done, I'm not sure I'll be offering that anymore until I come up with campaign 2, and then things will change. But so come go get it while you can. There's no, like I said, only like a dozen left.
Sweet.
Oh, and check out my YouTube. Me and Chris, Infinitel Chris down there. We co-host a show, do interviews. We did a trivia show for a while, and now we're getting into
that was fun.
reviews.
That was part of the inspiration here.
I'm glad
I'm taking this over.
Yeah, no, things kind of getting hectic for me in real life. So the shows are kind of hard for me to coordinate and get everything, good to go. And plus, I'd cut up shorts, and I've got like 50 shorts on my channel and stuff like that too. If anybody wants to go and enjoy just some of the joke clips that I put out from the different shows. But it's a good time, and we're going to be doing reviews. We want to do reviews of role-playing games. We want to do reviews of comics. In fact, we just did Fall of Man #1 a week ago or something. So really good book. And also should be talking, I am talking with JVP Audio, I think is his name, and he did an audio comic. So he'll be on. I think we're just going to EFAP his audio comic. It's on YouTube and stuff. So
awesome.
Yeah, it's super cool. So yeah, come check out my channel.
Link in the description.
Cool beans.
Yeah.
Chris.
I'm Chris Fisk. I'm the creator of Infinitale Chronicles, another fantasy or epic fantasy graphic novel series. Book 1 was launched a couple years ago. It's available now on Amazon on the cheap. So if you're looking to pick up a nice 54-page full-color book about elves and how much they get messed up, it's kind of their origin story for this fantasy world. You can check it out. Yeah, Aaron's showing off the one of the perks that people got on the crowdfunding campaign. And speaking of which, we've got another crowdfunding campaign coming sometime in the middle of this year for Book 2. And Book 2 is going to have some interesting takes on it. Not only is it going to be double the page count instead of the 54, it's going to be well over 100 and I think 14. It also will have 2 variants, and it's not variant covers, it's variant books. We have 2 different art teams tackling the story. So you will see the same story told from 2 different art teams' perspectives. Cool. So kind of 2 windows into the same world. And I also wanted to kind of experiment with the manga market. So I'm also releasing a smaller form factor book combining books 1 and 2 in complete grayscale, line art, whatever, into a manga edition that's read from right to left. That would be the Jumiko no Taisen, which were the trees, which is what the series of books will be. And on top of that, it's in English, so you don't have to worry about having to be super weeb and have to learn Japanese. That book will be, I guess, I don't want to say considerably cheaper, but we're trying to keep costs down so that our customers or our backers aren't, because times are tough now. So I want to kind of keep things competitive, and I don't want to sacrifice quality, but at the same time, I don't want to price, potential fans or potential backers out of our projects. And everything that my last campaign I fulfilled by myself in the height of the pandemic, and I was able to get out like 251 books. So and I so far I've gotten pretty positive feedback, and I really hope I can maintain that momentum with Book 2, and keep earning that kind of support. So appreciate that.
Good luck
and
with
thanks
Plus,
for having me on.
the merch for Infinitale Chronicles is crazy. Like you should have him on and talk to him about it sometimes. He's got or check out a show. I think we did a show, the end of year stream. I think we went full balls deep in all about everything that you're coming out with. So
Oh yeah.
if people are want more, go check out on my channel, Immortal Rising Comics.
Yeah,
It
man.
was an end of the year stream. Yep.
Yeah, and you can
It's
also
like we showed like your map and your little tokens and all that stuff.
Yeah. You can also find me on X or Twitter at Infinitale Comic, or you can head on over to InfinitaleChronicles.com, and the website will have all the latest news. So, and the
Nice.
ability to order the first book.
Don't you also offer like half the book or 15 pages of the book on your
Yep.
on your website too, don't you? So,
Yeah, both books one and two, and both versions of book two. You can get the free 15-page preview. You can just read it right on the site. It's got a
Very
nice
good.
little JavaScript. You can flip the pages. It makes all the sounds. The kids love it.
people love it. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, subscribe. I need YouTube things.
Yeah.
See
Hey,
you
thanks for having me on, James.
Yeah,
I
thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
Oh yeah, thank you by the way.
This was
around.
fun.
Thanks
So
for
you
being
do another
victim
one. Let
of
me know.
my capricious rules.
Yeah.
No, it was a good time.
All right, ending the stream. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.